Hello horse friends, and welcome back to The Imperfect Equestrian. Today we're having a walk and ride and we're stepping outside our comfort zone yet again.
You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you.
Thank you. This way, good girl. So as you can see, we are out on a road again, and it is a double width road. Thank you. And it's one of the more main roads in the area. So there should be quite a lot of lorries, tractors and cars, yay, good girl, coming down this road. We've already had a coach earlier when we first set off, plenty of cars and vans, and one lorry so far. I can hear some hedge cutting going on again. Good girl, good girl. Thank you. And because this is a bit of a busy road, I am walking to start with, and the plan is to do a circuit where we turn off onto a lane. Yeah, we have a car and trailer coming up. See how she gets on with that. Good girl. Lots of sheep in the back of that trailer. So she has a tendency just to walk behind me a little bit sometimes rather than at the side, and it's probably one of the fastest roads in this area. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I'm feeling a bit nervous, but not as bad as when I was riding down a road that could have had lorries the other day. Good girl. Good girl. Thank you. Because I trust that when she's on the floor with me, that she trusts me more. So she knows to look for me for comfort. So if she starts feeling worried, she looks to me first, and that way she doesn't appear to be quite as bothered by the lorries and vans. Woo! She's rubbing against me, and things that we find on the roads. So I just need to transfer that trust a bit more to when I'm riding, which is probably more to do with my own confidence than it is to do with her and how she copes. I think the sheep trailer has stopped ahead of us, and the guy is actually letting some of the sheep out into the field. That's nice. They must be getting some more grass. Thank you. Seems to be some very polite drivers today, much more so than the other day even. Many of them hanging back to see if it's okay to pass. Some people just presume that if your horse is on the road, it's fine to be on the road. It's not always the case. So another one has slowed down behind us now. Good girl. In more. Good girl. Over. Good girl. In more. Good girl. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I think that's a lady from the shop. She's doing extremely well. Good girl. Nosing around at things. Good girl. Hello. Thank you for slowing down. I appreciate it. We're still in training. Oh, the sheep in the field. Yes, I've had JJ a long time, but when are you ever not in training, and we're not that familiar with busy roads. So now the trailer's a bit empty. Made some different sounds as he pulled off. She had a little bit of a look, but you see, because I'm on the floor, she wasn't that bothered. Woo! Good girl. Woo. Good girl. I try to have the lead rope when I'm leading her out on the road loose enough that so when she's coming with me and behaving, there's a nice loop in the bottom of it. But obviously I want it short enough that if she does start moving around with traffic, I can quickly make a correction. Usually, if we haven't got the camera, I do use my stick a little bit to guide her back in with the other hand. Good girl. Border rope, just swinging it to my right. Another car slowing down nicely for us as it comes up. Good girl. Over. Thank you. The weather app did say it was going to be cloudy and some sunny spells, but there's just something about the air today that makes it feel like it's going to rain. I don't know. We must all remember that when road users are good, and even sometimes when they're not good, to give them a good big smile and a nice thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And the reason I say to do it even if they've not been good passing you is because sometimes it's a reminder to them that they should have done something a bit better. Thank you. And if we don't say thank you, sometimes the drivers that aren't good use that as an excuse to be bad to other horse riders, because they're like, well, they don't say thank you anyway, and they're on the road and they shouldn't be on the road, which is not true obviously, but that's how they see it. She's settling in nicely to walking now. We've not actually ever been down this road together before. I drive down this road quite a lot. It's the road that goes to our local shop and probably the nearest village with shops, so we go down here quite often. But JJ has never done this road, but when we get to the top of this road we'll go left, and theoretically it should be a little bit quieter because all the main traffic that comes through from the local villages towards the town comes down this road, but it comes from the right, and we are going to be turning left. I think my lead rope's getting a bit long again, especially because I've got it in one hand because I've got the camera in the other hand. So that one was a little bit faster, not terribly fast, but I still said thank you because it makes them realise that we do appreciate what they do when they do slow down. JJ, where are you going? Oh, silly girl. She's got a very busy mind. And she starts rubbing her nose up against me quite often when we're out walking. It's either that or she gets in her mind that she's going to eat the grass all the time and she pulls you to the grass. So at least she walks when she rubs against me. Going past a mixed field full of cows and some sheep in the far side, and she doesn't seem too bothered about either of them, which is good. We're actually nearly at the end of this road. I did think walking it would take quite a lot longer because it feels quite a long way when you drive it. If you know what I mean, like if you think how much it takes you to drive it, and I'll translate that into quite a bit slower for us walking, I thought it was going to be quite a while. But it hasn't been too bad. JJ! a driver who wasn't really thinking too much, because it is getting a bit narrow here, but you're going to get them. And this is why we are out practicing, because I want it to be good even when the drivers are not good. In some ways I'm glad we haven't seen many lorries and tractors down here, because obviously when they happen you're like, oh, what's going to happen? But in other ways I'm a bit disappointed, because obviously I want to expose her to those things so that we know that she can get better with the traffic. Here we are, we're going to be going left here at the junction. Signal, and off we go. We could still get some lorries and tractors down here, but the lorries, if they know the area, will take the road we just came off, because it's a better road. See, there's a lorry up behind us now. I don't know if he's coming this way or not. We might just get him to the verge in case. Oh no, he's gone the other way. What a shame we missed him. Just let her have a little treat for being so good down that road, and let it process in her mind a little bit as well. So now we're on more of a single track lane. I've swapped to the opposite side of her, because I don't feel I need to be so much between her and the traffic, because it's more likely going to be behind us than at the side of us. And you can notice probably also that I've got her lead rope on today, and it's her 12-foot lead rope. And sometimes when we go out walking, I just use the reins and clip them on and use them as a lead rope. And the reason I swapped out to the lead rope today instead is because I knew it was a slightly more unpredictable situation, and if something should happen, I've got an extra bit of length that I can use to deal with her. Whereas if I kind of got stuck at the end of the 10-foot reins, or whatever, there might even be a bit less than 10 foot the reins, I'm not sure, then it's a little bit less room to manage. And also they have the rein clip at the end, so if she did break away from me, that's going to be swinging around, and you know, it could flick up and hurt her, whereas this is just a rope, and if it flicks up, it's probably not going to do anything horrible to her at all. So yeah, I thought we'd use the lead rein today. So it's a bit of a quieter road, and you can see she's calming down quite nicely. Not that she was like a wild Arab or anything like that, but there was definitely a bit more of a step to her walk on the main road. And probably at the bottom of this road I'll get on her and we'll have a bit of a ride. Oh, car coming. Let's move to one side. How convenient, there's a gateway here. Thank you. Good girl. See, I think being a fjord, this is probably why she's not got too negative impression on traffic, because when we are down the smaller lanes and we see any traffic, we have to pull over and she gets to eat grass. So traffic equals eating grass as far as JJ is concerned. And it's so easy to put in good habits and bad habits. I've probably mentioned before several times that we've riding sometimes at the old house when we used to go down small lanes. If we got a car behind us, I'd often trot to the nearest lay-by, and it very quickly developed a habit of her seeing cars and trotting. And it wasn't that she was scared of them. Ooh, what an interesting gateway. It wasn't that she was scared of them, it was just that she'd learnt that as a habit. We see a car, we trot. So that's why now I tend to just keep to walk, even if it means making cars wait a bit. Depends how far away we are from somewhere. I don't want to be too impolite. Like I said, I don't want to upset drivers, but likewise I don't want to teach her she has to move fast every time she sees a car. Looks a very grand entrance, that house, really. Come on. She likes their grass there anyway. Finally, she's blowing out and relaxing properly. Good girl. Definitely a bit windier down this lane, but we're going downhill a little bit, and I can see the wind turbines in the distance going quite mad, so there's definitely a breeze picking up. I probably could have got on to ride again at that last house we stopped at with the big gates, but because this is still part of a road we haven't done before, I feel a bit more safe, calmer. Ooh, come on, JJ. Staying on the ground. Good girl. Over. Over. Come on. There's a gateway coming up and a car behind us, so we'll go down there. Good girl. Good girl. Should just walk quite sprightly and thank them after. I was going to pull her to the side, but she kept sticking her bum out. And I haven't got enough hands at the minute to calm her. See, she felt my pace pick up and she took it as a signal to go a bit faster. There we are. Thank you. It's telling the car they can come past. Thank you. Lots of people giving me thumbs up today. Signal of the day, I think. Oh. Still have some young cows watching us from the... Where are you going? Oh, another car. Let's go over here on this grass bit. Come on. Over. Up. A few cars. Thank you. Thank you. JJ. Up on a mount, it's not very safe. Didn't know we'd be doing agility whilst we're out today. She's seen the cows. Better look at them a minute. Come on, Huffy Puffy. I think I hear another car coming, so we're going to go back up. Gosh, maybe this is more busy than the main road. Let's wait here a minute and just see. Well, there wasn't another car coming then, but there is now, so this will be waited. Thank you. Let's set off again and see if we can make it to the next lay-by bit before we find any more vehicles. Wanting to be a little careful going down this hill because there's a lot of moss on the road. It's actually quite slippy. Come on. Come on. I think she's going to poop. Good girl. All your emotions coming out the back end. I keep hearing cars, but we don't see any extra ones, so maybe we're coming up to a junction somewhere. Of course, you know the bad thing about going downhill is it means at some point you've got to come uphill. So this is why I don't like to ride down roads we haven't done yet, because see, we've got the slope, we've had a few bits of traffic, she's sniffing around looking at cows and all sorts of scents and things to make her a bit more alert. So bearing in mind that she takes a lot of courage from me on the ground, she'd probably be more alarmed if we were riding still. Oh, sorry, the car wanted to come down here. Thank you, sorry. Oh, sorry. Bit of confusion then, I pulled out the way. Oh, what a lovely brook. JJ's having a look at the brook. Yes, I pulled out the way of that car then, but I didn't realise they wanted to turn down there, so I was actually more in the way than out the way. Uphill. She may not be so sprightly going up the hill with gravity against her, and she may not be so willing. There we are, good girl. Of course, this is the part where I do wish I was riding. But we must chip in. Neither of us is that fit. Good girl. That's it, she's given up already. Come on then. Come on. Walk on. Come on. She thinks she wants to go back the other way, but she doesn't know that's uphill as well. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. This little bit's starting to even out a little bit now. But we're both huffing and puffing quite a bit. And I'm beginning to wish I didn't have so many layers. It was a cold day when we started. Come on, JJ. So you see, when she's stopping at me, I can't just pull her forward. I have to pull her to the side to offset her a bit. I hear another car coming. Hopefully we'll make it up to next junction before she stops again. I'm hoping the car behind her is just a little bit of pressure to keep her going. I can see the pull in. We made it. Unless they want to go in here. Thank you. No, we were all right. Oh, she wants a break. I think I'll have a break. Okay, she's ready to go again. Woo. Finally, we are at a junction that we are a bit more familiar with, and I know where it leads to home. Just need to look for a safe place to mount. We might have to walk down one more little lane. I think there's a big pull in down the other side, and we'll get on there. This is actually the same lane that we had the big lorry kind of chase us down the lane the other day, and I had to get to slow down a bit for us. So, like I said, it's not impossible for us to still get tractors and lorries down here. I did think we'd run into a lot more today, but so far we haven't. It's a shame we didn't get the coach on camera. It was just as we set off from home, but she was really good with it. Her head's a bit lower now, so she's probably relaxing and feeling a bit more tired. Good girl. And even her rubbing on me is a little bit weaker than it was. But I'm sure it's only going to take one thing to spark some adrenaline before the head goes up and the energy comes back. She certainly deserves a little snack after that big hill a bit ago. Get myself some lunch when we get home as well, I think. Okay, we're at the junction. I'll find somewhere to mount up. Good girl. So we're on and we're riding, and she was a little bit lively when I first got on. Can't lie, I don't know why. Excuse me. Bit of adrenaline coming up a little bit. So she wanted to trot off a bit. Took me a minute to get her to stand for me to mount, but it was important that we did that because I don't want her walking off every time we mount her. And now she's starting to settle down a little bit walking. Right, we're going past the field with dogs and they are running up to the fence, so this could be a little bit of a spook as well. Be prepared for this. Good girl, JJ. Getting a little bit anxious because she can hear the barking. Elise is gone ahead of us to the gateway, so she's got a bit of forewarning. Sometimes they come straight at the fence line. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. There we go. Good girl. That's it. She's starting to calm a bit now. I think it was just the fact that she could feel the energy of them coming up and barking. I'm actually sitting probably tenser than I should be in the saddle as well, so I need to relax myself. There we are, she's having a good look. We do have dogs at home, obviously, so she does see dogs. There we are. Who is that? There we go. Good girl, JJ. Good girl. So she assessed the threat, decided it wasn't a bad thing, and she's calmed down and walking forward. Lovely now. It's actually only going to end up being a very short bit riding, I think, because I walked quite a bit more than I thought. There we are, good girl. Good girl. So now she's relaxing, I'm trying to relax my hands a bit more. I don't want to transfer any tension if I don't need to. We haven't actually had a trot yet because I've been on the ground, so perhaps in a minute she's nicely warmed up, I'm nicely warmed up, we might have a little trot. I'm quite proud of us today, doing another challenging, well, I say ride, but we walked, but still it was a challenge. Going somewhere we haven't before and somewhere we thought it was going to be a bit busier. Okay, I'll wait. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. So she is trotting, but I didn't ask for the trot yet, so I'm going to try and slow her. Ooh. Mostly because all the dogs started barking and someone started shouting at them, so she's already a bit tense. Right, now she's listening to me, I'll ask for the trot. That's it. That's it. Good girl. So when I was slowing her down, then I don't pull with two reins, I just kind of lift and pull to one side with one, and if I needed to, if I felt I needed to, I would bend her as much as I could to stop her if I felt she went off. See, she didn't want to trot for long, did she? Soon burn through the adrenaline. Let's try again. Live my life, ask a little bit of legs and voice. Somebody asked me the other day, why am I carrying a whip? Well, it's not quite a whip because it's not flexy, it's actually like a child's carrot stick, so it's a bit more firm. It doesn't really have much bend in it, so I carry that as a backup for if she isn't listening to the other commands, and I'll just tap her shoulder if she doesn't listen. So basically what I do is I live my life, which just means kind of lifting the energy in my body. It might squeeze my bum cheeks a little bit so she can feel that, and then I turn that down to my feet so they squeeze in a little bit and put some motion in my body. I might even use my voice before I use the stick, and only if she's not listening to all of that will I start to tap with the stick. And that's just because I don't want to get into the habit of kicking. I'm not a big fan of kicking. Obviously we all have times when we've been brought up kicking horses, which I was when I was younger. It was like, kick him on. That's just how it was done. That sometimes the little kick demon does come out, but we try not to. So yes, that's why I carry my stick. It's just in case she doesn't listen to my other commands. I don't want to get firmer with those commands, so I just tap her to get her to listen and say, have you noticed that my legs are touching you and that I'm asking you to move forward? Come into the end of the lane now, and I have decisions to make again. Do I want to ride round? Bearing in mind this is the busier, links onto the busier road, so technically any lorries that go down the big road have to come down this little lane, and it is a little lane. You can't always fit two cars down it, sometimes you can. Or do I want to get off and walk it now because she's a little bit more adrenaline filled? I'll decide when we get there. Here comes a big lorry. It's going quite fast actually, considering it's so tight and so narrow down here. So we'll wait and see what he does. We should just meet him as we get to the junction. There we are. Maybe we'll trot and follow him. If ever you have a horse that's a bit afraid of something, sometimes the best thing you can do is to follow it. I'm not saying she is afraid of the lorry. She might be down here because it's quite loud. But that little bit of following will have given her a small amount of confidence. I know it's much faster than us and it's gone now. Keep going a little bit. Now I know myself from walking that although this road looks quite flat, it is a slight incline. So this is why she's starting to slow down a bit. Good girl. Woo. It's a little bit of a sudden stop then. Good girl, let her get her breath back a minute. Go try and trot again. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, good girl. Well done. Good girl. Well, I do hope you're enjoying our ride. If you are, please like and subscribe. Follow us for more rides and other things we do. We do some training sometimes, some fun things like agility. I've raced Comanche before on his birthday. All sorts of different things going on really. When I say race, I don't mean I took him thoroughbred racing. I mean I put some jumps down on the floor and I ran some jumps and he ran the others. And we saw who won, which is obviously him. But it was close. Thank you. There definitely seems to be a distinctive lack of tractors around at the moment. Maybe it's just not a tractor kind of time of year. Good girl. Good girl. Woo. Thank you. Good girl. Good girl. She did really well on that ride, I think. Good exercise for us both. Yes, Comanche. Hello, Comanche. How are you? Look like an Arab with your tail up. She's never bothered about seeing him after. She just wants to eat the grass. Right, you coming, JD? Oh my gosh, JD, look at you. Look at you. Oh my, look at your eye. He's rolled and look how muddy you are. You're like a little pinto now. You're going to come out. You're going to roll again, are you? Come on, stay out the way. She's having a good roll anyway, isn't she? Stop it. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, look at that mess now. Look at that mess. Look round, and she's going to go again. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed us on our ride today and our walk. You can see the adrenaline that it took. It's coming out now. So we'll see you again next time. Bye. Oh dear, JJ. Oh dear. Don't rub it on me now. I'm wearing cream. Oh my goodness. Look at it all. Look at it all. Oh, JJ, even on your eye.